I feel like she's hiding something from me. Y'all agree, right? Her face shows it all. You just said in the beginning, your facial expressions are telling a different story. I know y'all not talking about me and tag teaming up against me.
No. Daddy just said your mother's just like that.
Just like that. How?
I'm sorry, Daddy.
Welcome to Living in 3D Power, a space where questions matter, stories heal, and joy is our practice.
Hey, it's me, Emma. Welcome back to Living in 3D Power. And today we're talking about relationships changing over time.
And talking about changing over time, we had a special guest last week, and she kind of stole the show. What's the face for?
She did not.
She did not. Why not?
I am Emma. She is JoJo.
Ooh, what's that mean?
I'm Emma.
So what does that mean that you're Emma and she's JoJo and she didn't steal the show? What does that mean?
We're different.
We're different.
I'm funnier.
Oh, wait. You're funnier?
Yeah.
How so?
My faces.
You know what people say? I think they say we all have similar faces. I guess y'all get that from me.
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
You do have a very expressive face, but so does JoJo. So I think we all have that in common. And I'm the common denominator, so I think it comes from me. But I think what you said even about we're different, like she is her, she's JoJo, I'm me, is key. Because you just being you, authentically you. So how JoJo showed up in a space last week was JoJo. And how you show up as you, and we're not trying to be anyone other than ourselves. So I think that's why people are so receptive to you and to JoJo, because y'all just gonna be you. And light editing, I only had to do light editing with JoJo. She went a little too far. She didn't say anyone's name. I don't let us outright talk about an issue we might have with someone, but I was like, okay, we got to edit that out.
What?
I can't say it.
Whisper
But I
it.
usually, no, that's what she tried to do last week. She whispered it. But at any rate, we don't necessarily do that. But what I like is that we just have the conversation. I don't need to do all that editing. So
Yeah, Mommy.
yeah, because that just takes up time and then it's not real, right? But if you cross the line and you breach in confidentiality,
I
then
remember
we
when
need
we
to do
first
that.
started it, we had to edit it so much.
I think because when we were starting out, we were trying to be all scripted and be like, okay, you got to do it this way. And now we're like, let's just talk like we talk. No one has time for that.
Yeah.
Literally, no one has time to be sitting editing. We do this, we upload it. I put some captions on there, call it a day. But I have some questions because
One question.
see, she's going with one question. We're running up against the clock, y'all. But we already talked about we're going to do the questions. So Emma picks the questions. She had about 8 questions on the list. We had to narrow it down. But I want to go back to what you said before you left for camp. And I think the rash is finally gone, y'all.
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's not. Emma came back from four-day camp.
Why are you telling people about my rash?
Well, it's so bad. You know what? You know when I picked you up and I was trying to take a video because I thought you were all going to be like, oh, Mommy, I miss you. And you were like, I have a rash.
I wasn't like that. I was like, I have a rash.
Well, I have the
smart.
video where you were kind of in between smiling and being like, I have a rash. And
I have a rash.
so I'm sorry. The people already know because I uploaded that. I guess I should have asked permission. My bad.
Like how you use my Play-Doh.
I did use your Play-Doh. It helps to hoist up the receiver for the mics. It was the perfect setting. But who has Play-Doh sitting out? That was on you. That Play-Doh should have been in a container, so now it's dry.
I
and
was
it's the
waiting
perfect...
for it to harden so I could do ASMR with it.
You can still do ASMR, but it just is the perfect divot now for the receiver. So nice job on that. So we have a few questions, but what I was going with was, before you left, I asked you, I said, it's going to be Mother's Day. There's some tenderness around Mother's Day, some conflicting feelings about my bio mom and where we're at with our family. And you were like, Mommy, you have to let your babies grow up. And I was like, oh, excuse me.
You have to let your babies go. Go.
Go? What? So you were referring to what? Camp? So you didn't think I wanted you to go to camp?
You were like, I'm so scared for you to go to camp.
I did not say that. I didn't say any of that. So what's the face for? You just felt that I was feeling that way?
No, I heard you say something. Like,
You were ear hustling?
no.
I didn't say I was scared.
You were like, I'm gonna miss you so much, and I'm just kind of worried. You said you were worried.
Well, and you know what? It was the best thing because I just released it. I said, she's going to be fine. She's going to be safe. She's going to have a great time. So with that in mind, when you said you have to let your babies go, I started going down because what I heard was you have to let your babies grow up. And then it just so happened that JoJo came for Kibo's 5th birthday. We had to come say happy birthday to our fur boy. She came from work straight here to say happy birthday to him. I said, hey, JoJo, Emma's not here. You want to film the podcast with me? She's like, sure. And I used that as an example, let your babies grow up. And what better way than the true manifestation of my baby growing up, my firstborn being 23. So we had a really good discussion. And some of the things that came up from that were the tension that we had. You don't know anything about that, right? The tension that JoJo and we all had in this house. It was peaceful, right? It was fine. So we were able to be really honest about that. And I want to show you this clip because JoJo was super honest and people were laughing about what she said. So I want to see what you think and what your reaction is to this if she's being honest and what your experience was with it.
But like, anyone that's ever wronged you, I will hunt down at this point.
What is happening?
Because I don't.
But why? Because you were like, there was a time
I know there was.
where you were like, I don't like you. I can't stand you.
There sure was.
And I'm like,
it was like
dang.
a couple months ago.
We laugh, but
It was literally not that long ago. Like, if I would have still been in this house, we probably still would have been at each other's throats.
true. And I remember talking to adults and I was like, yo, I just think like she would do better if she was at the house. And I remember some people were like, you can't do that as your daughter. And I'm like, but I'm telling you, I think some people just learn better. And I remember talking to a friend and she was like, girl, my dad had to kick me out. And it was the best thing for me. And I'm like, and I look now in hindsight, like almost what, a year? Like, and I'm like, she done got her whole state job. She got a whole salary. She's going to bed at like 8:30. She's like, I gotta go to bed. I gotta get up. I gotta be at work at 7. And I'm like, what is happening?
No, yeah. I got stuff to do.
It's season 2.
I got stuff to do. So what did you think about what JoJo was saying? What was sticking out to you?
How she was like it was just a couple months ago.
Why is that so funny? I mean, we bust out laughing, but sometimes we laugh, but there's so much truth in that.
Because the difference is kind of crazy.
How so?
Because now it's peaceful, it's calm.
And why do you think it's peaceful and calm now?
Now that there's no fighting.
Oh, and so that's one of the questions that was coming up for me is thinking about, it got me down this path of thinking about how relationships evolve over time. And so you were talking about letting your babies go, letting your babies grow up, and this idea of no one has a manual or a rule book on how to parent, right?
Yeah.
You ever hear anyone say that? Like, there's no rule book on this. But guess what? There's also not a rule book on how to parent adult children. That is where it's really hard. And then also how, when you're becoming an adult, how you can give your parents grace. So one of the things that JoJo said in the episode was that when she turned 22 last year, she was like, oh my gosh, I'm the same age that my mom was when she had me. She was the same age, and that was when she started shifting in how she viewed me and started giving grace. And did you hear how she started out saying, like, if anyone wrongs you, I will hunt them down? I'm like, she's so protective. And I think part of that is because when she was young, she couldn't protect me the way she wanted to. And now that she's older, she's like, oh no. But in terms of the peace, like, how was it before in the house? Like, what would you describe? How did it feel? What's the face for?
I'm sorry, JoJo.
She said, I'm sorry, JoJo.
I'm gonna be honest. If you're watching this, JoJo, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. It was a little bit of chaos and stress
Chaos and stress.
Because I'm not putting in any names, but someone cried like almost every week or so.
Oh. And that was that challenging? Yeah. Why?
It was more tiring than challenging.
How so?
Because like it gets to a point where you're just like tired of it and you're just like, here we go again.
And you know what? Like, even though that might be hard to hear, what she said in the episode was that, because she said, you had me in therapy since before I could really talk. And I was like, sure did. And I was like, and you resisted it, especially when she became a teenager. She was like, you can't make me go to therapy. And there's a law in Pennsylvania that when you're 14, you can make the decision if you want to do therapy or not. You can deny that. And so when she was older than that, but she was like, I don't want to go to therapy. And I have other families that talk about that. Their child doesn't want to go to therapy. And it's only going to work if you want to do the work. So I said, well, what makes you want to go to therapy now? Because you're talking about your therapist as your GOAT now. Like, you love your therapist. Shout out to my GOAT, my therapist. And I'm like, what changed? And she goes, one day, and I'm paraphrasing that, she said one day she just woke up and she was like, girl, get up a little bit. Like, come on, let's get it together. And I think that was so huge because what you're saying, like the tiredness, like, I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go again. We keep in this cycle. At some point, you got to make a decision. Like, what am I going to do to change my path, right? Like, we can continue to point the finger and be like, my mom sucks. Dad sucks. These kids suck. Or we can say, okay, what am I doing? So you know how you talked about like reversing things? Like, if you think that you're not pretty, you say, like, I am pretty. So you could do the same thing, like when you're pointing your finger at someone else and being like, oh, they're horrible, or they don't love me. You know what you can do? You can turn and say, where am I not loving myself? Or where am I not loving that other person? You can reverse it, because a lot of times what we do sometimes is we project things, or the things that we don't like about ourselves we'll see in other people, and we'll say, oh, we'll condemn it in other people. And you could give yourself grace, be like, where is it showing up for me where I don't love myself, or I don't love that other person? Does that make sense? You're making a face like, I'm not sure about that.
Kinda.
So say, like, take the situation if we have a problem and you're frustrated with me. Because the other thing is, as you're navigating going into middle school, oh, she's making a face. Are there times where you get frustrated with me, where we might butt heads? And so I'm seeing this as the last of the kids, like, oh, here we go. I see it a little bit in Maya. Maya's quieter, but sometimes she'll just be like, she'll get really quiet and then she'll just go to her room. You notice that? She'll just be like, whatever. Like, if I say something she doesn't like, she'll just go to her room. You will be like, oh, like, you get really frustrated. And you'll voice how you feel, which is a lot like I did. So I'm already saying, like, ooh, this might be really hard, us navigating this next chapter. Puberty, adolescence, teenage years. I have parents that are like, oh my gosh, my child is getting on my absolute last. How do we navigate that so that when we have the bumpy roads, like JoJo and I did, like, what can we do differently so that it doesn't turn into something bigger than it needs to be?
Not yelling.
The not yelling. That's hard, right?
We both need to work on that.
You're right. So, yeah, and I noticed, like, yesterday, I was frustrated yesterday. And I think what I'm noticing, right, when you talk about puberty and perimenopause, there are fluctuations and your hormones change. And I woke up like, today ain't it. Like, I ain't feeling today, and it's Mother's Day. And then you did something that we had talked about repeatedly, and then I was just like over it. I'm like, I know you not doing that again, right? And it turned into this whole thing. Like, we were able to talk about it in the car, but you were like, I couldn't talk to you because
I overfilled your cup.
Well, I think it was already like too full. Like, I'm already at capacity. So you know when you're already at capacity and you're already irritated, that last little thing will set you all the way off. So Maya did that the other day. She was all upset because you were in her stuff, using her shaving cream, because you like to mess. And she got really emotional, and it had nothing to do with the shaving cream, even though she's frustrated about that because you are in her stuff. But I was like, what's really going on? And it was that she was upset about something that happened at school. So we're able to talk and process through that.
Oh.
Right? But if you don't take a beat, take a pause and be like, I'm snapping about this. Is it really this? Yes, I might be irritated about this, but think about if I had been grounded, would I have been so upset, right? And how we talked in the car about, you're like, well, I didn't want to tell you what I was feeling about myself because I thought you would get upset. And I was like, why would I get upset if you're telling me about how you feel? What I was getting upset about is because you did something you weren't supposed to be doing, right? So that's different, right? So can we have the conversation when we're grounded, and then we can hear each other, as opposed to like, you want to have the conversation after you did something that you shouldn't have done, and then you want to talk about it? Now I'm already like, girl, you got to give me a minute. I need some space, right?
Yeah.
And so you and Daddy went for a walk. Like, I was texting him, I was like, you got to come get Emma. Like, we were on the way to church. I was like, come get her. Come get her.
Really? That's why he took me?
Because I was at capacity and I was like, and I didn't want you sitting out in the vestibule moping. So I was like, take her and just like,
I wasn't moping. I was just playing Block Blast, trying to hold in my tears.
well, I didn't want you to have to hold him in so you could go out and cry.
I don't like when people see me.
Well, that's
cry
what I'm
because
saying, so
they're
Daddy
like,
could take
"Are
you out.
okay?"
Right, I know. And that's what I was worried about. People would be like, oh, and I'm like, leave her be. So I was like, Daddy, come get her. I did do that. But that was helpful, wasn't it? See, I was looking out for you and for me. Space. So that leads me to the question, though, about what does healthy distance make possible? Think about that with JoJo. Think about that with us yesterday.
I can't believe that was yesterday.
I know. It was a long day.
I feel like healthy distance helps you. Because like you need time to like process your emotions and like think. And if you're like right next to the person, you could be like irritated with them, and then you would like just be like angry or sad or mad at them, and then like you would like not work it out with yourself.
So how do you think yesterday helped, like you walking off with Daddy? Did he ask you what was wrong? And were you able to process with him? Was that helpful or
Well,
not?
it took a little bit. I was like, I'm fine.
Oh, why were you saying you were fine?
I didn't want him to worry.
Oh, so did you tell him?
Yeah.
And was that helpful to tell him? Yeah. Okay, so, and it helped that you were able to talk to him and not to me. That was helpful that you were able to get that space so you could both cool off. You could have a conversation, you could process. And maybe he gave you another perspective than I did. That kind of helped you. Why are you making that face? I feel
What face?
you're like, but I don't want to say. That's what that is. What's your dad say about me? Now we gotta go talk to Daddy, because what your daddy say about me? Ooh, you done told on him with that face.
No, I didn't.
I'm gonna call him right now.
No, I didn't. I was thinking.
I'm gonna ask him later, y'all, and I'm gonna come back. I feel like she's hiding something from me. Y'all agree, right? Her face shows it all. You just said in the beginning, your facial expressions are telling a different story. I know y'all not talking about me and tag teaming like, up against me.
No. Daddy just said your mother's just like that.
Just like that. How?
I'm sorry, Daddy.
What am I like? So what did you say that he was like, she's just like that?
I just like explain how like I did that, and he was like, again. And then I said like how you like yelled at me in the car because you got so angry. And then Daddy was like, your mother's just like that.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm sorry, Daddy.
What am I just like? I'm just like what?
I think he was meaning like irritable or moody.
I can be. We all listen, but guess what? We all can be in this house, right? My goodness, right? So I think the issue is recognizing when we're at that. So when you said like I overfilled your cup, right? It's, oh, I'm waking up. I got an attitude. What do I need to do to ground myself so that when that thing comes, it doesn't set me off, right? So I think those are good grounding practices we do. Like yesterday, where I had to go upstairs and breathe, and then you came up and just rubbed my back because just watching Pops decline can be hard. So those things and those practices that we can do, but recognizing I'm a little bit more snappy than usual. Like, what do I need to do to shift that, right? That energy, I think, is helpful. That's just how she is, Lord. That's all right, y'all. We keep it real. What I said to JoJo also was she wrote us a 4-page letter and told us and read us for filth. And JoJo didn't always have the words, and she's now finding her words at 23 with the help of therapy, but she didn't always have the words. You have no problem finding the words. I didn't either.
Why'd you make that face?
Because you don't, because I was like that too. I didn't have any problems finding the words to say. Maya struggles with finding the words, but it's super helpful. Maya just doesn't want anyone to be mad. I think you think the same thing. But we as parents have to allow you to voice your harm, like your hurts and your pains and how we've affected you so that we can be better humans. Like, I think you are our greatest mirrors, right? Like, you reflect back to us the things that we need to fix about ourselves. So if I don't let you speak your truth and be like, I really didn't like that, I need you to change your tone, like all of those things, or say in a way that we can receive it, then we can work towards resolution and building a better relationship. So when things get really rough.
Yeah, you always say, watch your tone.
Tone's important though, isn't it?
Kinda.
Because I forget the percentage, but they say most of it is body language. I don't know what the percentage for tone is, but like what you say, but it's really how you're saying it. It's really your facial expression. So if I say, I love you, Emma, right? Versus, I love you, Emma, right? Very different how that feels, right?
You look like a Maya.
But it's very different, right? So those kind of things are important. So I think tone is important. Your dad says that a lot. He's like, your tone. So I have to be mindful of that because what I'm trying to say isn't going to get communicated the right way because you're already on a defensive because you don't like the way it's being portrayed. You don't believe it's sincere or you believe
I just don't understand how, like, my tone. I could be like, yes.
That sounds a little sarcastic, but sometimes you're like, what? I'm like, girl, who are you talking to? I was talking to a parent.
Me.
I was talking to a parent yesterday,
It's
and he
the
was
puberty.
like, "These children, this younger generation of parents, they're too soft on their kids. They want to be their kid." He doesn't say kid; he says children, and he goes in a whole rabbit slope, a slope with that. But he talks about his children are not his friends, so he has a very clear distinction. He says that the younger generation of parents are trying to be friends with their children. And I'm like, okay, I wonder if he's looking at me like that because he thinks I'm the younger generation. Or maybe he doesn't. I'm just thinking I'm young and I'm really not. But there is some truth where some parents want to be their kids' best friends. We had some parents, this is why I'm real particular about whose house you go over, because some parents, especially when you get older, they will supply their friends with their kids with alcohol and stuff like that. And I'm like, girl, like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So, they want to hang out with their friends and go out with them. JoJo was talking about another friend and she's like, oh yeah, her mom would go hang out with them late at night. And I'm like, girl, I'm not going out with you.
There has to be a good balance. Like, you can be, like, friendly to them, but, like, you need to, like...
Right, like, you
know.
still know when I'm like, we can be
Yeah.
cool, but like, I'm like, oh, wait,
You're
you didn't
like-
cross the line. I'm still your mother. And I think you need that, right? Because, like, for JoJo, she was saying, like, I'm 23 and I don't know anything, right? And she'll be like, I still need my mother. I'm like, oh, but you wanted to be grown. Like, go ahead and be grown then. But, like, you still need your mother, even like, I still need Graham. Like, those are things that are never going to, doesn't matter how old you are, you still need that mothering. So I think that's really important too. But you're right, there needs to be a balance and we have to find what that looks like. And it looks different for each kid. My relationship with you is different than my relationship with Maya or my relationship with JoJo. And you got to learn each individual kid and let each kid be them. And it's our job as parents to shift so that we can meet our kids' needs. And that's hard. What? It is hard. And then it could be like you're having a meltdown, Maya's having a meltdown, I'm about to be having a meltdown. And y'all, there is this meme I saw the other day. It's not a meme, but it was a reel this lady, she's actually pregnant and she's sliding down the wall in despair. And she's like, when you're a mom, but you can't even have, it's something like you can't even have your breakdown because three of her kids like came at different times. So she's like going down the wall like, oh, and then like she comes, she's like, okay, good job on your homework. And she's doing that kind of thing. And then she's like falling down the wall again in between and like another kid comes. And so from that, I was saying, and they put that up for Mother's Day yesterday, it's, we're humans too. We have feelings too. But oftentimes it's so focused on you and making sure you're okay.
Is your favorite part is when we go to sleep?
Why are you making that face?
Because it is.
No. It's a different part of the day. It's like the wind down time. I think that is an important part of the day, though. It's that Daddy and I have to have our time together, too. Right? So I think that is keep
You
it.
guys have movie night sometimes. Sorry for interrupting.
Sometimes, yeah. But I think there is a part where it's like it has to be a turn off. And that's when I used to wake up early, like do the 5 o'clock, 5:30, because I needed time to myself. Because it was just too much go, 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 go. And you would come home from school and I'd be snappy. I'm like, she just came home from school. I didn't see her all day. So that time, that quiet time is key. And you notice how in the evenings, I'll be like, girl, the lights are too high. It's too loud. And you're just like, you're not talking loud, but it's loud enough where I'm like getting irritable because I'm like, it's quiet time. So I think I laugh, but I think there is a little bit of truth in that where it's like that quiet, that solitude is nice in a house full of people and dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah, that's a whole nother. Keith will be barking, be doing too much. Like he's a human and he wants to talk.
It's like,
Yeah, too much. But yeah, you're right. So there's truth in that. Which is, did you like being away from us? For your 4 days, you liked being away from home? Why?
freedom. Kinda. It was
Freedom.
It was like kind of freedom.
How
It was
so?
like different rules.
Different rules. Were they more lenient?
What's that mean?
Like they weren't as strict? How so?
Well,
You feel like I'm strict? Me and Daddy are strict? Ooh. How so?
There's like a good balance.
Okay.
Like I can't do like something.
That you wish you could do? Like,
Birthday parties.
it's not that you can't. We talked about that. It's just
Yeah.
the time of the year, and I just feel bad. I don't want people to put full pressure to get you something. But we talked about that, something that you wanted to do this year. So you'll be 12, and like we can think about what does that look like for a birthday.
I want to go to a cat cafe.
You're probably allergic to
I'm
cats.
not.
I don't even understand cat cafes, y'all, but it is a thing. I guess are they just walking across your food? Like, what is happening? Are they in a certain section where you could just pet them, or just like kind of just all around in the place?
They don't jump up.
They
though.
do. They're cats.
Well, they like go around. I don't know.
You actually don't even know, but you
Yeah.
want to. I saw one in Lancaster when we were walking. We passed one. They probably have one out here too, but we'll have to look into that. But it seems interesting. But I don't want
I'm
something
allergic
crawling in
to
my food.
dogs.
You're probably allergic to cats too.
I'm allergic to dogs, not cats.
We'll find out. Okay, so I think this is a good conversation. I know we wanted to keep this one short, but the other thing was what you really, really wanted to answer was, what do you think adults misunderstand about kids growing up? The face, though.
I am not your baby.
What you mean? You are. You're 11.
Not your baby.
What does that mean?
I'm grown up. I was your baby when I was 5, 6, maybe 7. But I'm grown up.
You're not grown up.
Well, like I'm more mature. I can cook for myself. Why'd you make that face?
Because you're 11. Like, you're acting like when JoJo just said, I know nothing. Like, I'm 23. But at 11, like, okay, you're more independent.
Yeah.
So what does that mean that I need to understand? What am I misunderstanding about you?
It's not really misunderstanding. It's just like, like stuff I can and cannot do.
So is it that I need to recognize there's more things you can do and allow you that freedom in a trust that you can do those things as opposed, or you think I'm still reining in too tight on the things that I think you can't do? And you're trying to tell me, I can do more things, mommy. You got to let me grow up a little bit. Give me an example. What thing am I still holding and saying no to that you're like, I can do that?
Like make a whole meal. Like I can cook stuff on the stove, but like I need to be watched.
Right.
But like I feel like I'll be okay if I burn myself a little bit.
Girl.
No, no. Like if I
That's how you learn.
yeah.
And it's not the end of the world. So like,
Yeah.
it's literally like the people use that analogy or they'll
But
say
like
like,
if I get a like 5-degree burn, then like
girl. Well, that's why your parents there to protect you from those things. So I get what you're saying. Like, I don't want to wrap you up in like bubble wrap so that you don't ever injure yourself. And I think the test was you going to camp because some parents would have been like, I'm not letting her go because she has medical issues, right? And there was another friend there whose parents stayed close because of their medical issues, and maybe it was more severe issues and they felt like they had to be close in case something happened. But there could have been a part of me if I went down the hole of fear and been like, you can't stay overnight, I'll just pick you up every night. Because there was a part of me that was like, she's not going to get adequate sleep. That could activate something, and we don't want any issues. So there was a part of me that could have went down a rabbit hole, and what I had to do was release it and say, I got to trust that she's going to be okay because she's growing up. And she deserves developmentally to have this
I
freedom.
don't want to grow up, but I do at the same time.
Well, developmentally like appropriate. So if you could have missed out on an amazing opportunity, the core memory, because Maya missed out on it because of COVID. And this is one of the big things that we do in our area. You get to go to this camp, and it's something JoJo got to experience, Maya missed out, and I didn't want you to miss out on it. But there was a part of me that could have been driven by fear and said, I'm just going to pick you up so you can sleep at home. And you would have missed out on an amazing opportunity. So I think, yeah, that part of you letting you go and letting you do more things. So you are a really good cook. You have a natural talent there. So
Stop it.
but you're good. And even thinking about like you can do your own, you can wash your own hair. Those kind of things are huge because when I was your age, I wasn't doing that.
And I could take them out.
Girl, no, we talked about that.
12?
No, we're not there yet.
12 and a half.
So again, that's the thing where it's like, we can give you some freedoms and you can do that, but other things it's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So
Not
then,
yet, at least.
right. So we can work on that together. So what I'm learning, right, that I don't want to stifle your autonomy, like your sense of agency, like your leadership. And I think we do that a lot as parents because we want to be like, I'm the adult and you're the child. And what I see a lot in adulthood is that there's leaders that do the same thing. They try to parent their employees and they're the same age. And I'm like, I know you ain't talking to your employee like that. I've had staff, like senior level staff leaders in schools say, I have PTSD, like post-traumatic stress disorder, trauma response because my boss used to yell in my face. And I'm like, you talking about the person that I know, like outside of this? But they allowed that to happen. And I think sometimes if we have unresolved stuff in our childhood that we think, I got to listen to my parent, I got to let them disrespect me. And also like when you're a leader, some people have teachers that'll do that and they think that's okay. I had a coach that did that to me in college. And
I heard about him.
Right. He literally cursed me out in front of the whole team. And I walked and I was like, I don't know who you're talking to. Like, you're not going to disrespect me. And so many people kept coming to me, oh, you just got to like, go apologize to coach. And I was like, I'm not apologizing to him. He needs to apologize to me. But that's the kind of thing that we can do. And what I'm hoping that you're learning is that you have a voice, you deserve respect.
Yes.
And how do I balance leadership and parenting so that it's not abusive and it's not authoritarian, meaning like, I'm like, you will do this because I said so, versus, okay, let's talk about that. But still having that balance of being like, okay, you went too far. Now you need to roll back. Like, I know you're not in my stuff again. Like those kind of things. And that's learning that so that when you are an adult or when you get your first job, you don't let some boss abuse you and be like screaming in your face. And you think that's okay because you got to keep a job. Your generation is not about that. Y'all will be like, peace. The generation before you is literally not having any of that in the workforce. They will not tolerate disrespect. So our generation, the older generations can learn
I'll
from
be
that.
like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. So I was just talking to someone today about like, what do they need to do because they got a really, really bad grade on their final course, and they are a straight A student. And I was like, there is a process and a grievance procedure that you do, and you bring someone in that can support you and say like, okay, we need to have a conversation about this so that you can be safe. There's a process for all of that, but oftentimes people will go behind your back and they'll try to kick you out, to try to fire you and all those things. So people will just smile because they don't want to get in trouble. And at some point that has to change. So I think it starts in childhood and appropriate parenting and us working together. And like you're saying, like, mommy, I'm growing up. You got to let some things go. If you can't learn leadership now, you're going to be, and you could potentially be in an abusive leadership. You could be like that. You could be under someone like that, and that you never become fully who you want to be because you're in a really toxic environment. So I'm hoping that you're learning that in our conversations, and that you will be a phenomenal leader because you're a phenomenal leader now, and you're learning those skills, and that will continue a pathway forward for you. So I'm super proud of you. I am slowly, incrementally releasing you. Y'all probably gonna see me break down because she's gonna have her 5th grade promotion, and this is my last baby leaving elementary. We've been in this elementary school since 2008. We're finally getting out. It's 2026. That's so wild that we're finally getting out of elementary school and you're going to middle school. So this is a milestone. It's like they do the cap and gown and do all the things.
There's a picture of JoJo.
Yeah.
It's like this like flag, and then there's like a tiny
Oh,
cube.
in the school?
It's 2009
Oh
to
my gosh.
2010.
That's what I'm saying. She started there like 2000. We moved here in 2008 to start kindergarten. Unreal. And here we are, 2026, and you're finally leaving that school, our family. So as we wrap up thinking about your chicken nugget wisdom from our conversation today, what are you thinking that we need to challenge ourselves to do? Or what wisdom, what nugget do you have for us?
We need to try not to argue that much. I feel like that would be best for us.
Or like have healthier disagreements. Yeah. Like how do we work through it? Like what do we need to do to be like, okay, I'm upset right now. Let me go ground myself and then we can have a conversation. Yeah. And also what do we need to do, what we talked about in the car is like, okay, I know I shouldn't do that thing. Let me pause before I do that thing because I know the outcome.
To think.
Right, and think about how would I feel if I did that, if someone did that to me. Right, we talk about empathy and all those things and making appropriate choices because we wouldn't like someone to do that to us, or respecting people's spaces. What does that look like? And then we can avoid certain situations, right? So yeah, I think you're right. So the chicken nugget wisdom for the group is what? Like, how could you challenge them this week with their loved ones? If they have children, if they're around children.
I have one. Do a fun activity with your child or children.
A fun activity. What would that help us do?
Connect.
Huge. Connection's huge. And do something fun, lighthearted. Not everything has to be heavy. Yeah. And talk about hard things. Like how do we spend time together and laugh? And True. Realize that we can access joy all the time. It always lives inside of us. It's not something we have to do. We have to get. We don't have to pay for it. It's in our hearts. It's in our souls. So I love that. So we will focus on that this week, and we'll report back. So we're going to connect. Emma likes cards. She likes games. She likes all the things. I never really grew up doing that. So we have a whole bin of different things. So I'm assuming that's probably what you're going to pull out.
Hershey Park.
Hershey Park is not open yet.
It is.
It is? I ain't know that, y'all. Listen, maybe we can get a Hershey Park sponsor. They can give us free Hershey Park pass.
Please.
Hershey Park Happy. They still have that song?
What?
It used to be a theme song. Hershey Park Happy, Hershey Park something. So much fun to see and do. Time to be had.
I'm a Twizzler now.
We'll see about that. I don't think you grew that much.
I've been a Twizzler.
Hershey Park passes, y'all. So we will see you next week. Work on connecting with a child that you love, that maybe you're raising, that you a relationship with, niece, nephew, any of them. Connect with them and do something they love to do. Learn something new. Go back to something nostalgic. Uno, the things we used to do when we were kids. Maybe we can teach you a game. Like, remember Graham talked about she used to play jacks, and you were like, what is that?
Huh?
Jacks with the ball and the things she used to pick up. You should play jacks with Graham. We should get a jack set, and we go to Graham's, and you play jacks with her. I think that would be cool. That'd be a cool way to connect with her.
Jacks. Never.
We'll have to
heard
show
of
you.
it.
So we will see, because Graham's 80. So I played jacks when I was a kid.
Graham's not that old.
She's 80.
She don't look that old.
True. This is why I look about 27. The pause.
30.
I'll take, okay, 30. We see y'all next week, y'all. Bye.
I'm so glad you joined me and Mommy for this episode of Living in 3D Power. I hope you like it. Now do me a favor before you leave. Subscribe to our Substack and make sure you subscribe to wherever you listen to podcasts too. And hey, do me another favor. Share this episode with a friend or family member. If something we said made you laugh, made you smile, or it might mean something to them, just send it away. Okay, one more favor. That's a lot of favors, I know. Head over to the comments on our social media. Tell us what made you say, "That's deep, bro." Because your words encourage other people and they encourage us too. See you next time.